Hello and welcome into another video. This week we are taking a trip with Big Betty from our home in Missouri to Kentucky to see the Creation Museum and the ARK encounter. Join along. We're Ryan and Megan, two traveling physical therapists who really enjoy this lifestyle and love sharing it with you. We've been on the road for the past 2 years, living in our fully renovated 1994 RV, along with a few other rentals thrown in, some more desirable than others. Recently, we took travel assignments in our hometown, bought a house, and found out that we'll be adding a little one to our travel adventures. Needless to say, traveling is about to get a whole lot more exciting. Okay, so this trip has been wild already because it is the middle of summer and super hot, and Big Betty does not have air conditioning while we are driving. She does have cabin AC, but it just isn't super effective at cooling off the entire whole RV, and it's very old. So we wanted to get started super early in the morning so that we could avoid heat for this little one, and that means we got up at 4:30 and hit the road at 5:30, and we have been driving since then. It's actually been a really cool day because it has been stormy and rainy, so thankfully it hasn't been like bad storms. It's just been like drizzly. But that is something we hate, is bad weather when we're driving Big Betty, especially wind, because it just pushes us around, because it's a very big vehicle. So we are just about an hour away from our campsite. We're gonna quickly get hooked up, and then we're gonna maybe take like a cat nap because we've been up from 4:30 in the morning, and then we are gonna go check out the Creation Museum today. It's open till 8. They say to take about 3 to 4 hours to see it, but honestly, I'm sure you could spend all day there. We're really excited about seeing it. It's something we've wanted to see for a long time. And we're excited about taking a trip in Missouri. I mean, woo, out of Missouri.
Well, yeah, from our Missouri home over to Kentucky, right?
Yep. And Reagan has done awesome. Hi. She's about to go to sleep again, which should be great for the last leg of our trip. And for this trip, we are towing our Corolla, which is something we have not done since Montana. We broke down in Montana after towing, but also after going up a major hill to see Mount Rushmore. Not the smartest idea, but we have not towed with the RV since then. So we kind of wanted to see how it did, and it's been doing fantastic. So that is the update. We will see you when we get to the campsite. Oh, why does it look so close? Oh.
Zoomed in.
Yeah. We are on our way to the ARK encounter. It is Saturday morning. We made it into Arkansas. That's the state we're in, right? No, Kentucky. We made it into Kentucky yesterday around like 2 o'clock. We also lost an hour, so that made it a little bit more imperative to get here and get to the Creation Museum. So we got set up. It was like the quickest setup ever, which actually was really nice, because that is what is amazing about motorhomes, is setup is pretty quick.
Yeah, pull through site, easy to get the tow dolly or get the car off the tow dolly.
Yep.
It was nice, enjoyable.
Yes, and then we headed to the Creation Museum, and we ended up having about 3.5 hours there to see stuff, and that was great. We actually got to go through the entire main exhibit and read a good majority of it, but there are so many extra exhibits and so much information in the main exhibit, it would have been impossible to read it all. So at least we did get to see it. We really loved it.
Yeah, I really think 3 hours is pretty good, because I mean, you're going to have some people who are going to read every single word in that exhibit, and then that would take you like 5 or 6 hours. But most of the time, 3 hours of reading is going to be plenty for you, at least it was for us. And you're going to still get the full experience of each little section of the main exhibit. And then they have kind of little side exhibits towards the end where they just kind of focus on dinosaurs, or they focus on insects, or Israel in that time of Jesus. And so those can even take a little bit, but I felt pretty good about the 3 hours. Like I feel like I could go back and still enjoy it, but I feel like I got a good chunk of it.
Yeah, we don't feel like we wasted our money by not being able to see a majority of the museum. I feel like we did get a good gist of it, which was great. And then they do have an extra exhibit right now called Fearfully and Wonderfully Made, and it goes through like how a baby develops with 3D models right there that you can actually see, and that was awe-inspiring and really fun to be there with Reagan. All that to say, we are headed to the ARK Encounter. They're about 45 minutes apart from each other, and our RV spot is like right smack dab in the middle. So we are going south for the ARK Encounter. We went north yesterday. I think that's the directions. And we are actually meeting Ryan's parents here. They decided to join us last minute. We're excited to see this ARK. It's going to be massive.
Okay, so we're on the shuttle. There's a big parking lot, and you can see the ARK in the distance, but you gotta park. There is RV parking for your RVers out there, but you gotta shuttle in. And so the line for the shuttle was long, but it didn't take that long.
We lost our baby in the process.
But yeah, she's back there with the grandparents somewhere.
There she is!
We lost you. I know, it's like we couldn't be further apart. And she started crying.
Just a little bit.
So like we were saying, you take a shuttle into the ARK, but what's kind of neat is you're a little ways away from the ARK, and the shuttles all have really big windows, and so you're kind of weaving through this windy drive up to the ARK in the main area, and you're getting little peeks of the ARK, and it's like way off in the distance, and it still looks huge, and then all of a sudden you kind of round this corner, and boom, the ARK is there. Some fun facts about the ARK that we just read: it is 510 foot long, it's 85 foot wide, and 51 feet tall, and it's built to scale from the Bible, and it's massive. There's, I think I read, over 3.3 million board feet of wood in this ARK, one of the largest wooden structures in the world. And so this is going to be really cool. We're going to get to go inside it, and then there's a lot of stuff around the park too, kind of gardens and funnel cake area that we're going to enjoy today. Also, pro tip, if you're going to come over and see the Creation Museum and the ARK, you know, like a 2-day weekend event like us, make sure you get their souvenir cup. $20, it's a lot, but you get free refills all day at both places.
Soda.
Totally worth it. We've already drinking like 82 sodas, so we've gotten our money's worth.
So if you want to up your sugar consumption for the weekend, buy a cup.
Yeah, so you can get any fountain drinks. They have a few other little drinks over there, but our choice of poison is Coke. What's your first impressions of the ARK so far?
It's just huge. It's like really cool to see the magnitude of it in person. You would never think that you could ever actually see this in person when you read about it, but now you can at the ARK Encounter.
It's big.
It's big.
All right. So our reaction to the ARK Encounter. What was your first impression, Megan?
I think one of the coolest parts is seeing the ARK from like the bottom of the hill. As you're getting shuttled in from the parking lot over to the ARK, you can kind of see it off in the distance.
Yeah, I don't know if they planned it that way, if they planned it for the parking lot to be so far away and then to shuttle you in, or if they had to add that later because they have so many visitors, because it was so busy today. But that experience, even if they meant to create that or not, of being in that parking lot and seeing it way off in the distance, really big, was really cool.
Yeah. And then similar to the Creation Museum, there was a lot to read, but there was also just kind of more to look at. So maybe if you have little kids, it might be more of a fun area for them to kind of run around and explore as long as they don't get lost. But they had the ARK set up like it potentially could have been during the flood. So they kind of showed you how the animals would have been in cages, how their feeding system worked, how they would have stored food and water and all that
waste
kind of
management. It was very interactive, the ARK, and visually interactive. So was the Creation Museum, but I would definitely say the Creation Museum was a lot more reading, especially early on in the main exhibit.
But what was also really nice about the ARK encounter is that the ARK is not the only thing. They have a lot of grounds outdoors, and they've got like a petting zoo and just a zoo to walk through. They've got camel rides. They have a garden to walk through.
They have Noah's Village, which is where they have some little different restaurants. They have one sit-down restaurant that you can go to that's more of a buffet style, but then lots of different like Southwest Grill and a barbecue pit and different stuff like that. Ice cream funnel cakes that you can also partake in
Really
Noah's Village.
Nice playground that's there. You can also purchase extra tickets to do like a ropes course, zip lining. There's a 4D like VR experience to be like what it would be like at the ARK when it was actually raining.
Really well done. What a cool idea to actually take the measurements of the Bible that were written down and then make a life-size ARK to that scale. It took them 6 years with modern tools, which is a long time, but definitely a must-see if you are in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I think we felt like we probably went through the ARK a little slower, and since it was a little busier, it took us about 4 or 5 hours. Again, with a crowd like that, it probably will take your family 4 or 5 hours because you're just kind of waiting and getting through. But if there wasn't as big of a crowd, maybe take you about 3 to 4 hours. And then the Creation Museum, again, kind of 3 to 4 hours. But we did the combo pass. They have lots of different passes between the museums where you can go to each one once. You can take a 3-day weekend and bounce back and forth between them. You can just go see the ARK or just go see the Creation Museum. So definitely check it out. They have a great website that can kind of help explain that. But we definitely recommend if you're going to go ahead and do both because they interchange really well. Thank you for joining along with our RV trip this weekend. It was a lot of fun. Reagan's actually done really well in the RV. So we're still pondering, are we going to go with Big Betty on our first contract out of state in the RV? Or are we going to purchase something new? We don't know. We're all over the place with that, but we'll keep you guys posted. We do know the one thing for sure is that we want to try travel therapy as a family. There's not much content out there on the internet of travel physical therapists with a baby because it's a little harder. There's a lot of things to think about, but we definitely want to try it because we love this lifestyle and we love adventuring. All right, well, join in next time for another adventure from us. And as always, hit that like button, consider subscribing. That really helps the algorithm to promote our videos so we can keep doing this for y'all. And until next time, see ya.
See ya.